see if I could wait a couple of seconds for other people to join. And the chat is on. Okay. I'm gonna wait for a couple of you guys to join and then I'll start talking. And when you guys hop on, let me know where you're tuning in from. I am going to actually go live on Instagram too. I never ever do this, but I figure why not? So I am going to go live on Instagram. Hi, Michelle. Okay. I'm going to move this over here. So I'm in both places. Like I said to you guys here on YouTube, is I am actually going to go live on Instagram, which I never ever do. Ever. I think I've went live on Instagram maybe twice, but not many times. So once you guys log on or you're here, let me know that you're here, because you're going to tell me where you're tuning in from. Thank you so much. Thank you. This video is going to be about things that you should bring when you are moving abroad. And this is going to be specific for me here in Mexico. When I first thought about living away from the US, I wanted to kind of try it out a little bit to see, if it was for me. So when I came, I was scoping out everything that I would need to take with me and things that I would need to leave behind. And it was really interesting because in America or the United States, we don't realize how conditioned we are in real life. We don't realize it. We don't even think about how the media fills our heads up with the things that we must have and that are essential for us. They do it to our children by targeting them with commercials. They do it to us by making us compete with each other for the biggest house, the biggest cars, the finest things, designer brands. And so you kind of get brainwashed, so to speak, on the things that you think you must have and the things that you think that you need. In reality, you don't need half of those things. So when I was moving, and you come from a home and you collect all of these things that you feel offer you some security or some validation, and it's really hard to leave those things behind because we're like, oh my God, I've worked for this. Oh, I've worked for that. But none of those things really, truly, well, let me speak for me. All of the clothes and bags and shoes and things that I had really didn't add value to me as a person, nor did they add value to my life. I think most of those things that I did purchase was to say that I could afford them. I mean, and I'm just being honest, so many people buy things because other people cannot afford them. And that kind of gives you a feeling of being better than, because you have something that someone else doesn't. So that's kind of what we all strive to do in the States. Well, let me not say everyone, let me just say many people. When you buy a car, you can easily buy a Honda, a Toyota, or something that is very simple to get you to where you need to go without it being a name brand anything. But we choose name brands because many times they add significance and value to us. So when it's time to leave and move or relocate where you don't need to bring half of those things, we battle with it. We really, really battle. And I battled because I was like, oh my God, I need to bring every photo that I've ever taken with me. I had a list of everything that I needed to bring, all my pots, all my pans, everything. But once I came here and I realized that I could actually buy everything that I needed here without dragging everything that I had from the States, it was wonderful. So I'm going to give you guys just a few things that I feel is necessary when you are moving here to where I am. And then I'll briefly talk about the weather and how the weather really impacted what it is that I truly brought with me. Um, I brought my vacuum, and it was really, really important for me to bring a vacuum because I brought a small, that I actually purchased a small shark from Costco at home before I moved here. I have like a big shark that I absolutely loved. It was really, really hard for me to break up with that shark. But I brought my vacuum, and I brought it because here you don't really see vacuum cleaners. You see like the uprights and the big like bags, but um you don't really see vacuums. You don't really see those things here. So I made sure I brought that with me. I was really concerned about pots and pans, but when I came, they had a Walmart and a Costco here, so I could actually buy a few things that I actually needed. Um, Another thing that I made sure that I brought with me was my electronics. Purchasing electronics here are way more costly, and I don't feel like they work as good. I'm gonna give you a prime example. I was in desperate need of a speaker. Okay, so they have Sam's Club here. So I went to Sam's Club and I bought a Bose speaker. And I had another Sony one that I brought from the house. I think I bought it from Best Buy, like in Phoenix when I went for my residency, and it's a little tiny little speaker for like 20 bucks. That sucker didn't work either, but I bought it from the States, so I was like, okay, whatever. But I just bought this um, maybe a month and a half ago, 2 months. Um, but it's trash. Okay, it's trash. And it's very, 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 very expensive. I paid maybe almost 200 bucks for this, and it's trash. I don't know if they just don't make good things here, but it's trash. So I do not recommend buying any electronics here. Um, just because it's just not great. Um, you bring those things with me. When I went back to the States, I brought a new iPhone. I also bought a newer computer with me. And you have to be very mindful of things that you bring with you when you are moving and you're not doing it, I don't want to say legally, but Mexico was very, 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 depending on who you get, you are limited as to what you can actually bring in. I believe there's like you can't bring more than 10 CD disc. You have to really check and see if you can bring a desktop. Like there's a lot of things that you wouldn't think would derail you or stop you, but there are many things. Okay, I think I should put that link in the description box because you'd be surprised. Like people would come with a whole bunch of clothes and say they're going to donate it. Mexico does not allow that. You will be taxed out the ass if you bring in old clothes and think that you're going to try to give them away or sell them or whatever, they are not having it. When I first came, I brought 17 bags and boxes with me. Okay, 17. And they went through every one of my bags, every single one. Opened it up, looked through it. I made sure I had no tags on anything because they will think you're trying to sell it. So no tags on anything. You want to make sure your things are yours. Like, if you're a woman and you're coming in and you have and you don't have any children with you, you don't have a man with you, and you have a bunch of men clothes and baby clothes, they're going to ask you questions like, what is this for? So you want to make sure that you kind of understand that as well. Um, Also, when I was moving, we were at the height of COVID, and there was no Goodwills open. There was nothing. So most of my things, actually 95% of it, I had to pay for a company to come in and throw everything away. I threw bikes away. I threw clothes. I threw tables, couches. I threw everything away and paid the people to just come take it because there was no one that I could actually give it to because of COVID. So I pretty much trashed my entire house. And that itself was, I wouldn't say it was heartbreaking, but it was an emotional roller coaster. I cried a lot because I was attached to things more than I actually realized. And again, it comes from the states feeding us all of these things that we think we need. Oh, you must have this. Oh, you must have that. And this is a sign of success. This is a sign of prosperity. This is a sign of good living if you have this. And you collect all of these things, and they really actually have no value to who you are or what it is you have or what it is you're doing. And I think truly that was something that I had to learn in time. People tell you, girl, you don't need half of that stuff. But I was always that person that would overpack because I just wanted to have things just in case, just in case I needed it. I wanted to make sure I had it. And to be honest, all of the things that I left behind, I don't even think twice about. None of I, I don't think twice about them. Um, I gave away a lot of the things that were like really valuable. I gave away like my nana's dishes. They were like really really beautiful and vintage and very valuable. I gave them to a friend of mine. Some of the antiques that I had, I gave to a neighbor. Some of my collector's items, I gave to other people. Things that were really valuable. And I honestly felt good about it. Like a lot of people were like, how come you didn't sell it? How come you didn't sell it? Like I didn't want to sell it. I wanted to just bless people with it. I didn't want to sell anything. I just wanted to give it to the people. And I did. Um, Hi, you guys that are just joining me. Hi, you guys that are just joining me. So I just gave it away. I did not sell it. I didn't have it in my heart to sell anything. I just literally gave it away. Um, the things that you think you will need here or wherever you decide to move, I highly, highly, highly suggest you visit the location first so you can see what it is that would make you comfortable living in a place. For me, I wear makeup. I have all of my makeup here. I brought all of that and more with me because I am a chocolate girl, and finding my shade and my complexion shade in reality, even in the States, is hard. So I knew it would be hard abroad. Even though they have darker skinned people here, I wanted to bring the products with me that I felt comfortable with using. So yeah, I brought my makeup. I brought most of all of my accessories, earrings, hair, clothes. Not all of my clothes. I ditched 50% of them and kept the ones that were light and airy, or and I also kept my winter clothes. Sounds crazy, but I kept my winter clothes and winter boots and things like that. Because although I live here in Mexico, I still intend to travel. And I'm going to go to climates that are cooler. So why would I throw those things away? Why would I get rid of them, you know? So I kept those. And things that I thought, I wouldn't be able to find. Um, I thought I was going to have to bring my Vitamix with me, but I actually ended up giving that away, because they have blenders here. I don't need a Vitamix, but I have a blender. That's good enough. Um, just some of the big things that I thought I would have to take with me. I don't need to. I didn't need to. So first thing that I took, my I brought my electronics with me. Don't buy them here. That's number one. Two, bring all of the things that are specific and personal to you to make you happy. I love makeup. I brought my makeup. I brought my hair accessories. You knowing how to do things for yourself is really, 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 really important. Um, Having someone style your hair. If you don't know how to do your own hair, you don't know how to do your own makeup, and you're moving abroad, you may find that challenging because getting your hair done outside of your own comfort zone is very difficult. Not having people understand your texture of hair is difficult. Um, so you want to be mindful of that. Again, I know how to do my hair, I know how to do makeup, I know how to do nails, I know how to do pretty much everything. I can cut, style, sew, I can do all of those things. So, I mean, for me, it wasn't a big deal. But for other women, it's a huge issue. Like, who's gonna do my hair? How am I gonna get my makeup done? It's not a big. For me, it's not a big deal. This past weekend, if you guys saw some of the photos that I had posted, of the ladies that came. I had a hairstylist, and well, actually a team that came in and did the ladies' hair and makeup, and I first had them do me, and before I hired them, to make sure that they were comfortable doing black skin and that they had all of the products for us, and they did. I didn't have to give them anything, and I had different variations and different shades of women that came into my event last week, and it was beautiful. I thought they looked beautiful. So I know here there's someone to actually do your makeup if you are in a bind. Also hair. I had my hair cut here, for about 300 pesos, which is about $13. Last summer, well, when I first came last summer, I had my hair cut here on the corner, and it was wonderful. I thought I looked fantastic. I thought they did a great job. And the lady that actually ended up cutting my hair was Italian. So it was beautiful. It was a wonderful experience, honestly. Her washing my hair and cutting my natural hair was beautiful. And she felt comfortable with it, which is great. I also found a beach vendor to braid my hair. But I just hadn't had a chance to use her yet. And I'm sure I can get my hair braided for a lot less. But I'm very skeptical on braids and people actually braiding my hair. So that's a little different for me. A little different. A little different. But the beach vendors will braid your hair. They will do those things for you. And I actually like the beach vendors. Honestly, let me tell you guys the honest truth. The local beaches here are fun, okay? The vendors come up to you like every 5 minutes, probably get on y'all nerves, but don't be rude to them because that's how they support their families, okay? And sometimes they have the cutest things, like the cutest stuff. And at first, when I first came, last summer, I would go to the beach and there's nobody there because it's COVID. There's no tourists. There's nobody. It's just like us on the beach. And I would see these guys walking around with these sticks would look like little shrimp on them, right? And I would be like, ooh, I don't know who eating that shit. Like, it probably got flies and all kind of shit on it. I was just so judgy, okay? So judgy initially. And then I discovered those little damn things on a stick are shrimp. And it got so bad that I was chasing down the people on the beach. Like, please, wherever the shrimp is coming from, I need more of it. It was absolutely d effing licious. Like, oh my god, it's so good. It's so good, and it's only like $2 for a bunch of shrimp on a stick or fish, and it's seasoned perfectly, and it be hot. I just be like, oh my god, it's so good. It's so good. It's so good. Yes, it's so good. I was telling you guys on my business page, maybe yesterday or the day before, about the beach clubs here. Now, I love the beach. Love, 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 love the beach. And in the States, I lived in California. So I would go to the beach as much as I could when I wasn't working or busy or doing something. But when I would go to the beach in the States, I had to haul everything. So by the time you get your snacks, your drinks, your chair, your umbrella to the sand, you tired. You tired. So here, you don't have to worry about any of that. They have beach clubs, and you pay like a flat fee or sometimes no fee, and you have a beach bed, chairs, everything is done for you, and there's someone to service you, and there's drinks, there's delicious food. I'm in heaven. I'm in heaven. Like, I can go to the beach all the time and just live my life. Like, I feel amazing. And I battled with bringing my beach equipment with me. I thought, oh my God, these are amazing chairs. I got them from Costco. Like, they were the chairs that you could put the drink on and then you could lay back or sit up or any of that. And it was amazing. Amazing. Do you have a skincare routine? Um, I do. I do. I take care of my skin. I use Timeless, which is like, it's a product that is was a company that is based in Los Angeles. It's amazing, and they're affordable products. I use vitamin C, hyaluronic acid, and the cleanser. But I also get facials while I'm here. When I was in the States, I didn't get facials at all, primarily because I didn't have time. No one was familiar with, black skin. Well, I can't say no one, but the estheticians that I knew weren't really familiar with black skin, and they were really, really expensive. So you're talking about going, and you need facials at least once a month for maintenance. You go get a facial, that's maybe $200 for a facial, and you need to go consistently. I didn't have the time to do that. I just didn't. Or the money to just F off on facials, and they're just playing on your face. I wanted someone that was gonna be diligent in taking care of my skin. And I didn't know anybody, so I just did it myself. But since moving here, I have an esthetician that I see every 3 weeks, and I get facials, and they take really, really good care of my skin. I go to the gym every other day, and my gym is amazing here. I love the fact that I can actually work out and exercise and get stronger, things that I could not do in the States. I talk about this all the time. I wasn't able to get the type of health care that I needed when I was in the States. I walked around with a limp for like 3 years until I came here and got it fixed. And that's just the truth. Um, yeah, so that's pretty much how I take care of my skin, and why I look thinner. And I haven't lost a whole bunch of weight. Maybe about 17 pounds, but it looks drastic sometimes because I'm wearing bathing suit. I wear bathing suits, and my body is toning up. My arms that are usually like you can see a little bit of the flab still, but I mean, I actually have muscle in this arm, like whereas before I didn't. I had no muscle. It was just thigh and arm, literally thigh arms. I had always had big arms. So, and I never thought that I would, be able to have regular arms, like not those fried chicken arms, the kind of arms that that person knows how to cook, yam arms, spaghetti and chicken sandwich arms. The every woman in my family has big arms, like all of us. And for me to actually have an arm that isn't gigantic anymore is like huge. Or without me having to have a brachioplasty where they cut half your arm meat off and then you have a huge scar. I mean, because I was going to go that route. Let me not even go lie. I was like, I hate my arms. They make me, I'm sad. I want to fix them. But when they told me that they're going to have to cut them and then stitch them back up, and then I was like, I don't want that. I'd rather just have them big. I don't want a big old scar. So, yeah, I didn't get that. I just literally started to exercise, and now that my knees work, I can. Um, but I will tell you that moving here, not only has it changed my regular life, I talked about family today on my Facebook post. And, I come from a family where, when everyone lived together, they were busy putting their names on the orange juice boxes and fighting each other. So I learned to isolate myself as a child. I learned to stay out the way because I didn't want to be caught up in anything that they had going on. I just didn't want it. And I allowed my like money and my relationship at that time to be my excuse to be estranged from most of my family. And moving here and to Mexico, it's beautiful because family is such a big part of who they are here. And in the States, I would look at them like, wow, there's so many people living in one house. Like, why? Like, when they can all afford to live separately. And in the States, home ownership and things like that is what is planted into you. Like, you will own a home, you will do this, you will do that. And we're so used to being separate, you know, so separate that you didn't want to share a house with your sisters or your brothers or your mom or dad. Like, you didn't want to do that because it would be hell. It would be traumatizing. Hell, you barely want them to visit, let alone live with them. So that was my mentality. But being here and seeing how Mexican families literally bond and love each other despite everything, it is absolutely beautiful and incredible to not only watch but be a part of. I have a Mexican family here that I absolutely love, and they love me like without anything. I don't have to earn my keep, so to speak. They just love me, and that kind of love feels amazing. Like, I think I cry every day because I am so grateful for how good they are to me. I never knew that love like this was real. And it gives me hope that I'll be able to repair the brokenness in my own family because I'm so inspired by the relationships around me. Every family has their issues, of course, but here it's different. Weekends are for families and friends. It's celebration and love and parties, and it feels amazing. It truly feels amazing. Just being here and learning so much about people, black culture. Um, I've learned so much about the history of people in Mexico and the Afro Mexican history that I did not know about before moving here. Discovering that Mexico was a refuge to slaves, um, and how big the Afro Mexican population is in so many states, especially the southern states of Mexico, where you're looking at people and you're like, "Oh my God, he's a black man, but he's Afro Mexican." That's a thing. It's not something made up. It's really real. And I'm like, "Oh my God. Oh my God." I remember a few years ago I was at the animal kingdom in Florida, and one of the African cast members asked me, where I was from. So I'm mouthing off, "Oh, I'm from California. I live in LA." He was like, "No, like, where's your family from? Like, what tribe are you from?" And I didn't know how to answer it. I felt instant shame. Like I didn't know. I still don't know like where I'm from. My history ends with my grandmother. When she transitioned, that was it. Like I don't know anything else. And that's so sad. Imagine really not knowing where you're from, where your people are from, your lineage, your history, nothing. Like we I just I don't know. So I started to ask myself, why is it that I'm so connected to Mexico? What is it about here makes me feel so drawn to it? Because it's not for everybody. Other people come here and they're like, "Oh, nah, I'm good. Just give me a taco and some, a margarita. I'm good. This is not for me." But for me, I felt like, "Oh my God, I'm home." I felt connected to the land, to the people, and it feels beautiful. A part of me wants to do a genealogy test, or to see, what kind of blood I have in me, because I literally am in love with Mexico and its people. I'm in love with the love that they show me. I'm in love with how they care about me. I'm in love with everything, and it's almost like one of those relationships where the person treated you really poorly and you didn't know, and then you get another relationship and they actually appreciate you and they listen to you, and they show you what love feels like real love, not love because you have something that they want, but just love. That is the most beautiful thing I've ever felt. You know, I didn't move here to be away from the Mexican people. I moved here to be near the Mexican people, with the Mexican people. And there's a lot of expats that move and they relocate to different parts of the world. And they move away from the local people because they just want what they have. They don't want to be bothered with the people themselves, you know? So a lot of the expat communities are just full of Americans, Canadians, and others, but not really, they don't want to be bothered with the Mexican people. And they almost feel above them. And that's, to me, that's the disgusting part of life that I see. And I try my best to stay away from that type of energy, you know. And when they see me, I just I wave and I keep on going because I can't allow them and their negative energy to influence me in any way, because then I don't want to get mad and hit them in the throat, and I don't want to go to Mexican jail because, or jail here in Mexico, because I'm too damn cute to be in jail. Like, come on, I don't want to be in jail for hitting a bitch in her throat because she was disrespectful. You know, like it was one lady that, you know, I read, she made a post and she said that the Mexican people don't deserve to breathe the same air that she does. And it took everything that I had inside of me not to find out where she lived and choke her until she stopped breathing. Like that's the kind of sickness that I'm trying to avoid because it's so disrespectful. How are you living in Mexico, living here, and having those negative feelings about people? And though that's the energy that I don't like. You know, you see the people on the beach and they're like, you know, clipping their fingers at the people. Like, are you kidding me? Do you not know that these people are humans and not your fucking slaves? Do you know that? Okay. Because I just want to make sure. Leave your fucking privilege wherever the fuck you come from. Because here, these people are people. They're human. They're not robots. And it's that part of it's very disturbing. And I think that's the only part of living in a place that's very touristy, is that people bring their racism, their ideologies, their conditioning from wherever they're from with them because it's a part of who they are. And I had it too. I had it. Like, I had it, unknowingly had it. You have these ideas of what it is you want and what it is you see, and not really checking yourself on it as well. You know, you have to get with the program on how that country does things. And I had to learn an important lesson. You know, in the States, if you hire somebody to come, you're expecting them to come on time, ready to work. Here, you can hire them. They may not come. Okay? They may not come. They may not come. And they're damn sure not coming when they say. Okay? They not. That's just how it is. And I'm not mad about it now. At first I was. Okay? At first I was. I was like, wait a minute. Come on. It's 10 o'clock. You're supposed to be here at 9. Where are you? And I had to realize that they do things differently. Mexican time. So, okay, I don't stress out anymore. Like, some of the things that we stress out over, they just don't stress out over it at all. Okay? Like, not even a little bit. Like, not at all. And that's refreshing. I talk about credit a lot. How the United States really, really drives debt. And outside of the United States, credit isn't really a thing. Okay? You don't need credit. All you need is the money and the ability to pay for whatever it is you want. That's it. They don't go by credit. Credit is just a way of institutionalizing racism and classism. That it's really it. You know, you mean to tell me I can't live where I want because of of a bill that I didn't pay when I was 19? Oh, okay. Okay. You know, we have the false sense of home ownership. That's another thing. A false sense of home ownership. I will never, ever, 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 ever forget the fact that you don't own a home until you pay it off. Okay? Like, that is the truth. I had a home. I had a big house with my ex husband, and we lost that bitch. We lost it. So really, it's not even home ownership, it's home rentership. Because if you can't afford to pay for it, if you miss a payment, they come in to get their house. Because it's not yours, it's theirs until you pay them in full. And even then, after you don't pay your taxes, they gonna come get you. If you have a condo and you're a part of a HOA, you don't pay your HOA fees, they coming to get your house. So unless you pay for it outright, it's not yours. You're simply borrowing it until you can pay it off. And that is my truth. I can't say that this is what it is for everybody, but it was what it was for me. And here, when I was looking for my house and I was looking for everything that I needed, no one ever asked me what it is I did. They was just like, you can afford to pay it? Okay. Well, let me show you how much you want to spend? Okay, let me show you. No one ever sat me down. Okay, well, Michi, I didn't have to prove myself. I didn't have to look pretty and fancy. I didn't have to show up with my name brand bags and my beautiful foreign car and whip out all of my education and the career goals that I have and all of the businesses that I have to prove that I'm worthy of living in a neighborhood that is exclusive. I didn't have to do that. So it's like, oh my God, here you pay for what it is you want. You just pay for it. You work hard, you save up, you pay for it. So the Mexican families, they own homes. Everyone works and chips in, and you get a house. Then everyone still lives in that same house. Here, you get a house. Everybody still lives in that same house. You get a house. Black folks, on the other hand, not really. Not really. We don't do that. We too busy angry and backbite. Not everybody, but a good amount. And again, it goes back to the trauma that I had as kids. Like, I don't want to live with you. I don't want you in my house. You're disrespectful. You're lazy. You don't want to work. And then it's just a lot. So I have to check me at all times. I'm constantly checking myself, checking my privilege, checking and checking and checking and realigning, checking, realigning, checking, realigning, because I have so much growth to do and so much room to do it. You know, I never thought that I would want to be a part of a family because I just avoided families because they were always so toxic to me. Like, that's supposed to be your sister. Why is she stealing from you? That's supposed to be your brother. Why he sleeping with your girlfriend? Like, it's just so toxic. And I wanted to isolate myself permanently from that type of hurt and that type of pain. So I literally just didn't deal with anybody. You got family members who are jealous of you and mad at you, so they try to sabotage you. I see so much, and I just didn't want to be a part of it. But here, it's like, oh my God, this is what family's like. And you be driving in the car with somebody, like Ubers especially, and like it's a guy outside of the cars that, like, maybe he is disabled, he has like one leg, and he's still trying to sell stuff. They will share whatever they have with the person that's trying to make a living. What do we do in the States? We drive right past your ass. You outside, we driving right. First of all, we might play a sick game with you. We might hit you on the way going to our next destination. We're not giving anything. Not every single person is like that. I mean, I would give to people that I believed needed it, but again, that's my belief. I had to come up with the idea of that you needed it, not just giving it to you because you asked for it. I would make it in my head to see, okay, well, okay, okay, now I'll give it to you. But I'm giving you this dollar. You better say thank you. And that's how it was. And it wasn't until I matured more that I understood that when you give someone something, you give it to them because you want them to have it. And that's it. They don't owe you a thank you. They don't owe you anything. The attachment to it is gone. You gave it because you wanted them to have it, not because they owe you anything. They don't owe you a thank you. They don't owe you anything. We in the States, it's kind of like we pay for loyalty. I do something for you, now you owe me. And it's something that kind of sticks with you. So here, someone does something nice for you, and you're like, okay, you're waiting for the big reveal. Like, okay, what? Okay, you helped me. What is it that you need from me? What is it that you want? I'm. What do you need? Because I'm waiting for it, and it just doesn't happen. They do it because they want you to have it, or they want you to experience it, or they want you to taste it, and they just say de nada. I'll never get used to it, and not because I don't feel like I deserve it, but because I'm not used to. I'm just not used to it. You know, I went to a bakery on the corner, like maybe a couple blocks from my house, and the guy makes the best cinnamon rolls, like homemade cinnamon rolls. And if you guys saw the video of my chef, how she cooks for me every day, like homemade, everything piece by piece. And that's how they cook here. Like, there is no box, there's no cans or nothing. Everything is made. When she makes jamaica for me, which is a drink, she goes and she gets the leaves and she boils the leaves, takes out the leaves, leaves the liquid, then adds her stuff to it to make it for me. At home, everything is from like concentrate or a box, or and then things don't taste as good. Here, everything is fresh and real, and it's just like, oh my god, I can't believe this is my life. And anyways, the guy made cinnamon rolls. He makes like the best cinnamon rolls, and it's like real bread and real cream and real. I'm just like, oh my god. And when I first had it, he would just give it to me to taste, like, here, try it. And then it came, oh my god, Michi, here. And then it was just like, here, take Michi some bread, take Michi this, take Michi that. And it was just the kindness that I can never get over. The kindness, the genuine kindness. They want to make sure you're happy and that you smile, and it's amazing. I taught English last year, to some little kids, because at my Spanish school, every student that enrolls, they get a Mexican student, and they are taught English for free. So I volunteered to teach the babies English, and it was so rewarding, because they really, really appreciate it. My Spanish isn't horrible. I understand more than I speak, but they always compliment me on my pronunciation of the word. So I feel kind of good about that. Like, okay. And now that the school is back open and they haven't been shut down, I'm gonna go back in April. So I'll be back in school. Hopefully they don't close back down again. But school's open and it's closed, and it's open and it's closed. And I learn better in person than I do online. Like, I need to see your tongue move. I need to ask you questions. And people say, well, Michi, use Duolingo. And that's okay. It's for reinforcement. But every part of Mexico does not speak the same type of Spanish. They all have their ways of speaking. So I don't want it to be a lot of the words don't translate, and some of the words don't make sense. So I need to know the Spanish where I am, and that makes me happy. That gives me joy. That gives me joy. But I think I've been talking for a long time. Oh my God. Um, okay, I'm gonna go because it's been 50 minutes that I've been talking. And I'll do another live. If you guys like enjoyed this, if you felt like I wasn't too long winded, um, then let me know that. And then that way I can do more of them. And, hopefully they're informative and they give you some information. So the whole purpose of this video was to tell you the things that you want to bring and the things that you need to leave behind. We said that one, we're bringing our personal effects, makeup, things that are very specific to you. Household items you really don't need, depending on the location. Here, I brought a vacuum. I also brought my coffee machine, not my regular coffee machine, but my K cup machine. And I brought like so many little pods. They're not really good for the environment, but I really like them. So I'm sorry. I just needed them. And every time I get a visitor or a guest, I ask them to bring me coffee because I like it that much. So I brought my coffee machine. I brought a set of knives. I brought my vacuum, and I brought my personal effects. And all of those things fit in 17 boxes. Yeah, 17 boxes and bags. And I brought my books because here, of course, like English books are very hard to find. So I brought a lot of my books that I enjoy. And I brought my Fire Stick, my electronics, some of my electronics, and that was it. But for the most part, I started over, and it feels amazing to have done that. So if you're looking to, move or do something different, visit, see if it speaks to your soul, because I'm connected to this place. Like, I'm connected. And no matter where I go, like I might want to go live in Thailand for 3 months. I may want to go to Costa Rica and live for 3 months. I'll be able to do that without any issues, and this will still be my home. That feels amazing. I don't have to worry about, oh my God, I need to get permission from work. I have to go do this. I have to do that. I don't ask for permission from anybody anymore. I just live my life. I just live my life and add value to those around me. That's my job now, to be the best person that I can be. You know, um, you know what? Linens and towels is not a big deal here, because they have them at Costco, and I go to Costco and I get them. So, maybe if you're in a smaller town, yes, it is. If you're in a small town, then yes, I would highly recommend doing that. But you don't necessarily have to do that. You know, um, you can get them here. Um, and because I live in a beach town, I don't really need heavy duty sheets and blankets. Now, I will tell you that it did get cold. Um, Wait, do you still have a traveling connection if we would like to visit? A traveling connection. What does that mean? I don't know what that means. I do still do travel for other people, but it's only if you're traveling with me. Hi, baby. Hi, poop. Y'all know Lauren. Say hi, Lauren. Thank you, baby. My baby is 17. Can y'all believe that? Oh my God. My baby is 17. 17. Thank you, baby. Is iMac allowed? Yes. Both of my computers are Macs. But they're not desktops, they're laptops. Are you traveling from the US to where you are? Um, I'm not traveling right now. All of my traveling has been without throughout the country of Mexico. Um, Next month, no, May and June, I'm going to two different states. I did travel throughout the state that I'm in now. It's amazing. I host different retreats here in my new home, and it is incredible. Yes, I still do that too. I have people come here that are interested in moving here, and they meet with an immigration specialist and a real estate agent so you can see firsthand where you want to live, what you want to do, and they answer all of your questions. Um, so I try to have that connection because I think that that was something that I wish I had when I was moving here. The internet and Wi-Fi is shaky depending on where you live. Internet isn't the best, um, but it works as you can see. If you can see me, then you know that the internet is working. The cost is, I think, pretty good. Um, what else? What other questions were there? Oh gosh, those are amazing places to look at. Oaxaca is amazingly beautiful. It's so beautiful. Merida is so cultural and colonial. It's gorgeous, but it's kind of hot. Vallarta, I love it because I'm surrounded with mountains and oceans and rivers, and it's so much for me to do. I'm a busybody, so I like to be able to get to wherever I need to go. And we have Uber here. So because I am walking and able, my Uber bill is maybe $40 a month. And and if I'm traveling heavy, maybe 80. Um this is an amazing country that is so huge and so vast in everything. You know, it's so much more than tacos and beer. It is so much more than all of that. You have to come and you have to visit, you have to see and allow it to speak to you, you know? Absolutely. The people that are in the US that came down from my retreats or came down to do my relocation experience, they were able to meet with the people that would be helping them, you know, with everything here. The same person that helped me with my residency here when I got my green card here in Mexico, like I told y'all I cried. Like it was such a long battle, and I just cried. I felt like, oh my god, I'm legal, and I felt amazing. Like, because there's a lot of people who live here without proper authorization. Let me not call them illegal, but proper authorization. And if anything, this whole pandemic taught me to be legal, to have legal residency, because they do not have to allow us to come in and out, especially once the borders close. Unless you can prove that you are a citizen or a resident in that country, you are then looked at as a tourist. And I didn't want that. Um, it's awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Are the living expenses different? Yes, they are. Where I live in Vallarta is not necessarily cheap. It's less than the US, but it's not necessarily very cheap here. But there is a budget for everyone. You know, if you want to spend, you know, $200 on an apartment here, I'm sure you probably can find it. I don't know if it's what you would want to live in, but you know, if you want something that I think is great, you're looking at a minimum of at least 1,000 US, at least a month. But that's only for here, and that's only for something that is incredible. Like for example, my house, I have 4 bedrooms, well, 3 bedrooms, and up here is was turned into my office. So if you saw me moving in last year, you saw all of the custom cabinetry that's in here now to be my office. You saw everything. Um, just you saw how everything is, and my rent is very, very affordable in my opinion for everything that I have. I have three different terraces. My outdoor terrace here, I have a beautiful mountain view. My bedroom terrace is very private, and then I have a terrace that's connected to my living area, which is beautiful because I can open that up and then it just expands greatly. And I still do all of the things that I do in the States, that I did in the States. I go to the beach, I eat out, I have a gym membership, I go get facials, I get massages, I do everything that I want to do here. So that part of me hasn't changed. I'm still out all the time, um, exploring Vallarta and all of the amazing things that it has to offer. And yeah, I mean, life is really, really amazing. And I want this for everyone. I want everyone to know that this is accessible for them, that this is not impossible, that I'm not lucky. I am not, that girl who, somebody just chose. No, no, this is absolutely you too, if you want it. But we're so used to, I think, being in our bubble of what feels comfortable for us that we never even think about venturing out. Today I posted all types of opportunities for those people that want to be students. If you want to be a student and travel abroad and learn, oh my god, there's the US will sponsor you. If you're an adult and you have a profession, the US will sponsor you. It's something called the Fulbright Scholarship Program. It's so many opportunities, but people just don't read. There's so many opportunities. You want to work and you want to have a stable job and you want to have flexibility, work for the consulates. They're everywhere. There is a US consulate everywhere. Okay? You don't want to live in Mexico, it's too much for you. Okay, go to Morocco. Okay, you don't want to go to Morocco? Go to Portugal. Go to Ghana. There is consulates everywhere. American consulates, US, you can work there. The embassies, you can work there. I'm actually gonna go to the embassy, not the embassy, but the consulate in like 2 months, so I can renew my passport. There's opportunities, there's ways, but you have to actually want to do it. You know, you actually have to want to do it and not expect someone else to do it for you. It's crazy what people ask me and the types of questions that I get. I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm not going to do every single thing for you. Why? This is your journey, not mine. I'm on mine. I need you to get started on yours, you know? So it's an amazing life. It's an amazing, amazing life. And I share a whole lot. I give you guys so many tools, so many like ways out. People say, well, what about working? How am I going to have an income? Well, especially now, thank God with COVID, you can work remotely. And if you're making $2,500 minimum, you can live so many places. The US is just ridiculous, but you can live so many places and your quality of life would be amazing. But again, so many people are attached to things and to labels and to all of those things that they don't want to get away from that. They want all of the labels. They want that. And for me, I don't care about that. I don't care about any of that. My clothes are $2. My shoes are $5. I don't care about Louis bags, Prada glasses. I don't care about any of that. Give me good food, give me wonderful people, give me safe housing and amazing energy around me, and I'm happy. It doesn't take a lot, you know. So yeah, this is just good life, good eating, good living, love, And when you open yourself up to so much positivity, great things come to you. Just it just does. And I feel so incredibly blessed. Even when I have struggles, like this last 2 weeks, or last week, I should say, has been an emotional struggle. But I am surrounded with good people that remind me that I'm loved. And to me, I feel rich. I am rich and happy. And I have so much at my fingertips. Just love. Just love. Just love. And I can't ask for anything more. So I hope that that was helpful for some of you. I'll try to do another video in a couple of weeks, or maybe next week. I don't know. I usually do it when I feel it. This is not a job, but I want to make sure that I give you guys valuable information that you can use for your own journey. And I wish you much success and ease and patience. And, I also will tell you not to tell many people until you've already made up your mind that you want to leave. Because people will post, will put their projections off on you. And when we say those things like, oh my God, I'm thinking about moving, somebody will say, girl, nah, da da da, and then we'll give you all of the reasons why you should not. So unless you are solid in your thinking, don't share, because people with small thinking can't see what's in front of them, and that the world is big and that we have choices. People called me all kinds of names, and the internet drugged me for moving, but now, if you notice, now there's more stories of Black people moving away. There's more stories. It only took one, not that there wasn't any other story published that involved anyone not moving, but I wasn't a destitute woman looking for refuge. I was a woman that had a career, a family, and a solid life that I left behind. And I wanted something more. I wanted something different. And I did. And people can talk, mess about, me leaving my kids, but I'm teaching my daughter something very important. Teaching her something very important. And that's to follow your dreams, even when others don't think it's possible. To do what makes you happy, and to do everything with love, intentionally. Being a mom is hard. Being a mom in these days and times is even more difficult. But the best thing that I can do for her and for my son is to lead by example. And lead with my heart even when no one else understands. Because that's all that I have. It's all that I have. So, thank you guys for allowing me to come into your home, your office, your car, and chat with you. And I hope you enjoyed this video. By Instagram, I never ever go live. I probably won't do it anymore. But I appreciate you guys being here as well. Okay. Bye, you guys.